Guys, I appreciate everybody coming in. We're going to make a little Firecrest build video. Show everybody what we got going on. Okay, all right. So, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody on Twitch. Welcome everybody on YouTube. I appreciate y'all hanging out. This is our Firecrest build, and we're going to start with the main weapon. It's an Urban MDR. It has deadly, brutal, and distracted. It's got extended mag with critical hit chance, critical hit damage. It's got a large optic 4 times, accuracy, critical hit chance, headshot damage. Omega rifle suppressor, headshot damage, critical hit chance, accuracy. It's got a large underbarrel with accuracy, critical hit damage, optimal range. Okay, so just your standard Urban MDR. What makes this gun so great is the distracted talent. Your damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects, which synergize with Firecrest. Now, secondary is a sniper. It has prepared, toxic, and elevated as 170% headshot damage, 118k bullet damage. I'm running magazine size, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, headshot damage, accuracy, critical hit chance with a 12-time scope. That is a normal cross-haired scope. I really like it. And also Omega rifle suppressor for headshot damage, critical hit chance, and accuracy. And it's also running a large underbarrel for critical hit damage, optimal range, and reload speed. So those are the weapons. Now, let's get into the gear. So chest piece. I'm running a vigorous chest piece that is rolled into electronics. Now, it has skill haste and health as a major attribute and ammo capacity. The reason being is, with this build, I really like to run airburst seekers and a flame turret. Okay, now the reason being is because both of those synergize with the Firecrest 4-piece set bonus. What is that 4-piece set bonus? Oh, let's go look at it. Okay, so the 4-piece set bonus on a Firecrest is your weapon damage is increased by 15% against burning targets. So, targets on fire from your airburst, targets on fire from your flame turret. Now, what else does it give us? It also gives us a +3 incendiary grenade capacity, gives us plus 50% flame turret range, which is huge. It also gives us 30% flame turret damage. Okay, so flame turret right now hits for around 12k per tick on an NPC. Okay, and this was during a legendary mission. So 12k per tick on a legendary NPC is pretty good for a flame turret. The range, you can put it up high, you can still reach them, and they really can't get to it. It's super nice. Now, all right, so backpack. Standard specialized backpack. Adds 200% of firearm and stamina to skill power. Now, major attribute is rolled into skill power. Skill power really helps this build because of your flame turret. It really helps add for skill cooldowns, damage, turret health, a lot of different factors into it, okay? Now, mask. What are we rolling on a mask? We are, oh, I'm sorry. Backpack is rolled into firearms, by the way. So it is a firearms backpack. Mask, we are running firearms as a main attribute. Now, this has 7% enemy armor damage and 10% damage to elites. This was really tailored towards legendary missions for PvE. This is not a PvP build. I am going to do a PvP Firecrest build, but this is set up for PvE. Hence why we have enemy armor damage and damage to elites on our mask. Gloves, we are running firearms, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, assault rifle damage, because we're primarily using our Urban MDR, so that all synergizes together. Firearms on those. Knee pads. We have an electronics knee pads. Now, Ryan, why are you running electronics knee pads and you're not running more firearms? Well, if you'll notice, we have a nice healthy balance between our firearms and our electronics. Now, stamina is at the base. I still want to play with this, but having this 213,000 skill power is really nice for the flame turret. It really adds that extra bit of damage. And as you know, in legendary missions, you're not able to just stand up and face tank and shoot everything. So it's nice to have that constant damage going out. And it really helps, like I said, at 12k per tick, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it can really chunk down an NPC's health. Now, what are we running? And we're also running enemy armor damage here. You could make an argument for health. You could make an argument for a couple different majors, but I really am going for damage out of this build with enemy armor damage, and it also has damage to elites. So we have enemy armor damage and damage to elites on our mask and knee pads. That's something that you really want to have there, in my opinion. Holster. We have our 3 main stats, and our major attribute is health. Now, I want this major attribute to be skill haste. Okay, so in a perfect world, I would have skill haste on my holster, my gloves, and my chest piece. My chest piece has it. My gloves and holster do not. So this build is nowhere near min-maxed. We could actually increase this build and make it better, in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of skill haste. For this patch, skill haste is huge. So if it was up to me, I'd be running skill haste here and here. I would get rid of critical hit chance and keep the damage, critical hit damage and assault rifle damage, and then replace it with skill haste. That would give you somewhere between 36 and 40% skill haste. Right now, I only have 23% skill haste. I would like to have a lot more. That would really help with the airburst seeker. The flame turret, it doesn't matter. The flame turret is off cooldown by the time it runs out, so you have a constant flame turret. But however, airburst would be super, super, super nice to have a higher cooldown on that, because it does a lot of damage and it also sets the NPCs on fire. Now let's go back up. Okay, so we have 24% damage to elites, 29.5% enemy armor damage, so we're able to dish out some pretty decent damage here. Now with that being said, my mods, what am I running on mods? Okay, so it's going to depend on what your gear has, depending on which mods you're going to want to use. Now me, I rolled electronics for my knee pads and my chest piece. I have firearms on my mask, my gloves, and my backpack. Now, to give us a nice, even pretty much 6K on both, I am using electronic mods. They're 264 electronics with 3% skill haste in all 5 slots. So that gives us an extra 15% skill haste, and that also evens out our electronics and firearms. Now, let's say that you had 3 electronic pieces and 2 firearm pieces, then you could run all firearms mods with skill haste. I'm a huge fan of skill haste for this patch. Now, this Urban MDR, the reason that I say that this build works so great for team comp, not only does it add CC, but think about this, you get 15% damage, weapon damage, against burning targets. With an airburst and a flame turret, they're pretty much always on fire, especially whenever you complement with a wildfire talent. You get 15% damage here. Now, if you'll go look at the Urban MDR talent, it is a distracted. Your weapon damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects. So boom, right there. We have 33% increased damage out of those 2 talents alone. Now, this is where this build gets really, really, really nice. In a team comp, if you have a sentry in your group and they triple stack a target, you get an extra 15% damage. So think about that. You get 15 and 15 is 30 and 18. Holy cow. Is that not nuts? You get 48% extra damage if your team comp is set up properly. That is huge. This build absolutely melts, and it's a lot of fun. So I would encourage anybody that is looking for a FUD build to give this Firecrest build a shot. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments below, or if you have any questions, put them up in chat. I appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you.